Jambo, this is Liam in for Bear. Today the camera turns on the shop itself. Every reel on this channel is built by a skill called AI Explainer, a file of laws wearing the Claude app's own skin. So we handed Claude its own instruction manual and asked what makes it tick. Teardown rules apply, mechanism first, judgment after, even on our own machinery. Act 1 before the teardown, 30 seconds on what a skill even is. A skill is a folder of instructions Claude reads before it starts working. A skill, MD plus the assets it references, not code that executes, prose that governs. Claude loads the folder, then behaves like someone who read the manual because it just did. Here's the real file, a name then a description that doubles as the trigger. The typed phrases are literally when Claude reaches for this skill. A description is an API, right? It's sloppy, the wrong skill loads. This one reads like it knows that. It isn't standalone, it extends a parent explainer skill and inherits the chassis, Manum doctrine, Remotion rules, runtime scripts. It adds three things: the skin, the register, the laws. Inheritance for instructions, the parent governs the making, this file governs the look. Act 2, the pipeline, 5 moves, and the order is the whole design. Scaffold, deterministic, no spend, author the beat sheet. Generate audio and the MP3 lengths become the master clock, only then visuals, 1 slot per beat. Assembly conforms everything to the audio. Words first, pictures last, that order is the file's thesis. Inside the writing step sits the law that shapes every beat. The show block comes first. You author what the viewer watches, event by event, then write the voice reacting to it. There's the file's own sentence. No show block, no beat. Then the audio and the decision worth stealing. The narration is recorded before a single visual exists, and each beat's MP3 length becomes law. There's the sentence, verbatim. The tape does not negotiate. Pull back and you see what it buys. Everything downstream bends to the voice. The picture conforms to the audio, never the reverse. No drift, no hand timing, no arguments in the edit. The clock settled them all in advance. The visuals are a mix, chosen per beat. Claude Remotion scenes where the interface is the subject. Manum fragments for math. Rhetorical patterns when an argument moves. Concept illustrations. Onto code blocks for anything code, and open slots for human footage. Best teacher wins. Assembly is honest about what's missing. An unfilled slot renders as a slate, beat ID, narration line, a pointer naming the file it wants. First pass is always watchable. Drop media in by file name, and the reel rebuilds without touching the edit. Act 3, the laws. Every skill has opinions. This one writes them in capital letters. First law, the UI earns its beats. The interface appears only where it's the subject, open, asks, verdict, close. Everything else must illustrate its concept. The file even names the failure it fears. 7 videos of composer wallpaper. That's a scar, written as law. Second, no generated visual appears without the prompt that made it. Ask, then result, and the file's own phrase. Each pair reads as a receipt. The viewer never wonders where a graphic came from. Watch us do it next beat. So here is ours, the actual invocation that produced the reel you're watching right now. The result, the beat sheet behind this episode, every row a beat, every beat a lane, a show block authored before one word of narration. The receipt for the receipt beat. The skill you're watching made the thing you're watching it with. Act 4, the skin, and why this brand refuses to get creative with it. The whole brand is a fitting, not a design. Cream page, warm ink, the app's own serif, measured off the real Claude desktop the way a tailor measures a client. The goal was never beauty. The goal is recognition. The file makes it law. This is a Fidelity brand. The palette replicates the product, never retented, never themed, never improved. The reasoning sits right there in the text. Stop looking like the actual app, and the brand loses its reason to exist. Discipline inside the palette too. 1 terracotta moment per beat. 1 well of orange on a bed of black. The file's phrasing is the best line in it. If 2 things are orange, neither is the point. Last decision, the gate. Before any audio, a human signs the narration, reviewed on an animated slate, never a page of text. The voice here is free. The gate survives anyway. Never about cost, about refusing to animate a bad script. Act 5, the tell, what the file's shape confesses about how it was written. Look at what's bolted down: cold open, verdict, handoff, outro, identical in every episode. Only the middle is free. That buys a ritual viewers can trust, and a catalog you can repair in one pass. Fix the shared component once, and every episode inherits it. Read the file closely, and it's a blueprint with revision marks. Laws in capitals, failures named. 1 rule ends. A reel without its build prompt is unfinished. Nobody writes that sentence before shipping something half-built. You write it after. The honest ledger, the laws by consistency, provenance, and a middle that must teach. They bite, every inner beat is bespoke, the PPT test kills cheap slides, and Fidelity chains the look to someone else's product. Fair trade, expensive one. Let's recap with Claude. A skill is a folder of laws Claude reads before working, and this one earns its keep. Words first, audio is the clock. The UI earns its beats, and every generated visual carries its receipt. The skin stays Fidelity, one terracotta accent never retinted, and a human signs before any voice is made. It's a strict file. The strictness is the product. Your turn, here's the prompt. Read the AI explainer skill. MD from the Brutalist toolkit under skills make AI explainer. Then plan do not render, a Claude explainer beat sheet for concept I'll give you. 1. The cold open ask landed answered. 2. The act map with a lane for every beat. 3. Show blocks written before narration for the 3 beats that matter most. 4. The handoff prompt you'd offer my viewers. Then grade what comes back the way this file would. Did the show blocks come first, or is the narration doing all the work? If Claude hands you paragraphs with pictures stapled on, it read the file and skip the law. Make it run the pipeline again. Claude skinned, lay 'em in for bear.